Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Traptrix deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one because this deck is a deck that I have wanted to become something ever since it was released with Marmelio. I really loved the way that this deck played, and it's just such a fun deck to be able to play all the traps face down, and your opponent's like, okay, what am I going to walk into first? And they just kind of play what am I going to walk into, which is fun. It's really great to be able to play around with this deck as a complete deck that's pure, and it's really weird to say that you can actually play pure Traptrix now because of Traptrix Sarah and Mantis being released, which is super fun to be able to do. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight on this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on this. This deck is like the definition of a control-based deck. Set 5 pass, just to see what your opponent is going to walk into for trap-wise. Thank God Heavy Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster are not a card right now. But we're going to be playing 3 copies of Traptrix Mantis. Traptrix Mantis, or Marmelio, excuse me. Marmelio is in this card. All of them are unaffected by the effect of whole trap cards. And then when this card is normal summon, you can add a whole trap or a normal whole trap card from your deck to your hand. And if she's special summon, you get to target a spell or trap on your opponent controls and destroy that target. This is basically the searcher of the deck, the one that you want to draw first. I always want to summon Marmelio first so I can get my searches off as quickly as possible. Then I play 3 copies of Traptrix Dianoi. This card is basically it's unaffected by other trap holes. And then when it's normal summon, you can target a Traptrix monster in your graveyard and special summon that target in defense position. And when this card is special summoned, you can target a whole normal trap card in your graveyard and set that target, but banish it during the end phase of your next turn if it's still in the field. That's still pretty good to be able to just instantly special summon it out and make a link 2 or a rank 4 or something like that to be able to OTK your opponent with something like Utopia Double that we play in the deck. Then I play 3 copies of Traptrix Mantis, which I'm really disappointed that this card didn't come in Gold Rare, because then I could have all the Traptrix in Gold Rare, which would be really cool to be able to do. But we don't have this one in Gold. This is the only non-Gold Traptrix, which is weird. When this card is normal summon, you get to add a Traptrix monster from your deck to your hand, and it's unaffected by the effect of whole trap cards. And then once per turn, you can target one set spell or trap card you control and return that target to the hand. Then you can set a trap card, spell or trap from your hand onto your side of the field. So if your opponent's going to like MST you, Twin Twist or something, and you want to save one of them, you can target one, put it back in your hand, and then put it right back after the chain resolves because it doesn't have the legal target anymore, which is pretty cool to be able to do just to save your Traptrix cards. Then I play double Traptrix Antrix. This card's unaffected by all whole trap cards, and you can activate trap hole cards from your hand, and then the activated effects of normal trap cards you activate on your side of the field cannot be negated. So it makes them all speed spell 4, which is pretty cool to just be able to just negate the effect, or not be able to negate your trap cards. Then I play 2 copies of Traptrix Nep. Traptrix Nep is basically, this card's unaffected by the effect of whole trap cards. And if you activate a whole trap card, you can add from your hand or special summon a Traptrix monster from your deck. So she's really good to be able to like normal summon and then leave her on the field, and then during your opponent's turn, you flip a trap hole and then, or like a bottomless trap hole or something like that, and it's like, oh, I'm going to get rid of your monster, and I'm also going to special summon one from my deck, and then MST you or something like that because of Marmelio. Then I play 3 copies of Ash Blossom just as extra hand traps and stuff. Just so you can kind of stop your opponent from doing all sorts of shenanigans. You want to play the 3 copies of Ash Blossom. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, this deck is super fun. I have to tell you, like, it's super fun to just set 5 pass and then look at your opponent like, go on, try something, please. 3 copies of Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion's here to special summon out stuff like Thousand Eyes Restrict, and I play a 1 Instant Fusion target that's Carbonala Warrior, so I can go into Mrs. Radiant really easily to boost them all up by 500. I probably could drop that, but the deck is the extra deck's kind of subject to change. Like, you can do anything you want with the extra deck for the most part, except for playing 3 Sarahs and 2 copies of Rafflesia. You just really need that And the rest of the stuff is kind of like whatever you want to play. 3 copies of Called by the Grave, because Called by the Grave is just a really, really good 3 of in the extra or the main deck, because you want to stop hand traps and stuff like that. You don't want to get hand traps, so you play this. And then I play 1 copy of Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is basically just here to OTK your opponent with Utopia Double. Like, that's the big reason that you played in here, and it's really easy to OTK your opponent, and it's really fun to, like, destroy their entire field except for like 1 monster that you can save, and then summon Utopia Double, and then make Utopia, and then with 5,000 and then attack, negate the attack, and then activate this and go 10k, win. What you got? Like, it's just really great to be able to do that. And if you don't win that way, you always have the extra like trap holes to grind out the game with. So we play 3 copies of Bottomless Trap Hole because it's, in my opinion, the best trap hole, getting on into the traps. Bottomless Trap Hole is when your opponent summons a monster with 1,500 or more attack, or monsters with 1,500 or more attack. You can destroy them and then banish them, essentially, which is really, 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 really dangerous for your opponent. Like, you can just instantly destroy a Link monster. You can instantly get rid of something that's really problematic. If your opponent Pendulum summons that on all the monsters have 1,500 or more attack, you can just instantly, like, completely banish every single one of their Link monster, or every single one of their Pendulum monsters. So it really punishes people for overplaying. 2 copies of Traptrix, Trap Hole Nightmare. Traptrix, Trap Hole Nightmare is when a monster that was special summoned this turn activates its effect on your opponent's side of the field, negate the effect, and you destroy that monster. It's a good 2 of, and it's just really good to be able to just flip this card and be like, hey, guess what? Destroy that monster. 1 copy of Floodgate Trap Hole. I just played 1 copy because of links. Like, it doesn't work on links, and so that's why it's just a good 1 of. When your opponent summons a monster, you change all the monsters they summoned into face down defense position, and they can't change their battle position. This card was really good right before links came out, because links can't be switched to defense position, so it's not quite as good anymore. I played 2 copies of Time Space Trap Hole. When your opponent special summons monsters to their side of the field, you can, from their hand or extra deck, you can shuffle them into the deck, then lose 1,000 life points for each return monster. This card's really, really, really good when they, like, special summon a big Link monster, and it's like a compulsory evacuation device. And you have stuff like Rafflesia that can activate it directly from the deck, which is really good if they summon a big Link monster and you have Rafflesia on the field, and you're just like, yep, I'm just gonna flip this, and you're not gonna have a monster anymore. 3 copies of the Phantom Knights of Shade Bardent or Brigadine. This card's good because you can just activate it and instantly have a level 4 monster on the field to go into Link plays or something like that. And you can, if you have no trap cards in your graveyard, you can activate this card the same turn that you draw it. Like, if you activate it, or the same turn that you have it in your hand. So, like, for instance, if I just have this card in my hand, you can just instantly drop it and then have a level 4 monster on the field to be able to make, like, an XYZ play or a Link play or something like that. Then we play 3 copies of Compulsory Evacuation Device because it is traps, and, you know, it's a really good trap to be able to return a monster to your opponent's hand. This can be really, really pivotal if they put a lot of resources into a monster. You can just flip this and then go, hey, you ain't got nothing anymore. If you want to, you can drop this. This is a budget version of the deck. So if you want to drop this and play Infinite Impermanence, you can play Infinite Impermanence. I don't have Infinite Impermanence, and that's why I didn't play it. But you can drop it if you want to play Impermanence. Then I played 3 copies of Storming Air Force, just in case I don't trap hole all their monsters. I have Storming Mirror Force to flip if they try and attack me. So it's an option. And a lot of your Traptrix monsters don't get really high attack points, so you need something to combat the whole, you know, getting destroyed by battle thing. So this is your good out to that. And it's really a good option to be able to play. So that's it for the traps. Let's get into the extra deck. Or that's it for the entire main deck, actually. We play a lot of traps in this deck. I mean, it's Traptrix, so you got to. So we're going to be playing 3 copies of the Traptrix Link monster, which is Trapship Sarah. Basically, this card is a 1-card Link that you just have to use a Traptrix monster to summon her. And then once you summon her, this Link summon card is unaffected by the effect of all trap cards. And then she also has the effect of, if a normal trap card is activated, you can special summon a Traptrix monster from your deck with a different name than the ones you control, which is really good to be able to do that because you have, like, literally a walking MST with Marmelio. And a lot of the other ones trigger when they're special summoned as well. And if another Traptrix monster effect is activated, you can set a trap hole, normal spell, or normal trap from your deck, directly from your deck, which is really, really good. But you can only use their effects once per turn and not during the damage step, which is not that big of a deal because you just get to pick either or whichever one you need to activate at the time. Then we play a Boral Sword because you can OTK your opponent with it. 1 copy of Mrs. Radiant because you can go into it really easily because they're all Earth monsters. 1 Linkuriboh. The reason you play Linkuriboh is for the Thousand Eyes because if you get through the traps on my turn, I'm gonna Thousand Eyes you, which is really funny. 2 copies of Traptrix Rafflesia. Traptrix Rafflesia is really good to be able to just summon under the Sarah. It's really easy to get 3 Traptrix on the field to be able to go into that. And this card is unaffected by the effect of trap cards, and while it has XYZ material, Traptrix monsters you control, except Traptrix Rafflesia, cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, which it just protects your Sarah, which is really good, and your opponent cannot target Traptrix monsters you control, except for Rafflesia, with card effects. And then once per turn, during either player's turn, you can detach material from this card, and then send a whole trap card that meets its activation conditions from your deck to the graveyard, and then this effect becomes that trap's effect, which is really good to be able to just activate like Space-Time Trap Hole from your deck, just activate your copies of, like, it just makes your entire deck like your face-down cards, which is just really busted. But it's just really good to play this card as a 2 of. I probably wouldn't play it any more than 2, though. Then we play Utopia double, and then Utopia. I wanted to play Lightning in this deck, but I didn't have the room to play Lightning with all the other stuff, so I did drop Lightning. So basically what you do is you make Utopia double, detach a material, and then add double or nothing from your deck to your hand, and then overlay on top of it Utopia because of its effect. It comes out at 5,000. You swing at your opponent, negate the attack with Utopia, and then activate double or nothing to swing again for 10k and OTK your opponent. This is how you OTK and win a lot of games in this deck. 1 copy of Baguska because you sometimes want to stall, and why not stall if you have all these trap cards. Exciton Knight because you can blow board if you need to. It's an option. Carbonella Warrior. Carbonella Warrior is basically here because it's a Earth monster. That's the only reason it's here, and it's an instant fusion target. Millenniumizer Strict and Thousanizer Strict because you can negate hand traps and you can go into Linkuriboh with these, which is really awesome to be able to go into Linkuriboh with these and just gobble up your opponent's monsters and gobble up their hand traps. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's a pretty simple deck. Basically, summon Syrah and Rafflesia and pass, and then OTK your opponent with Utopia double if you can, or slowly peck away at your opponent's life points with your Traptrix monsters. It's extremely easy to win, and this deck is really... I've played against it. It's really frustrating to play against, so it's a lot of fun to watch your opponent kind of squirm to see what they can do about all these traps. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I have to mention, though, it's really funny when you play against somebody that doesn't play any back row hate. This deck is hilarious to play against. Like, you just chuckle on the inside when you know they don't play Twin Twister and you have this deck on you. So, anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell and soon become part of the notification squad. Tell me what you think of this deck down in the comments down below. I'm really excited to play around with this deck a little bit more and to show you guys maybe some live duels of this deck. I'm probably going to be carrying it to locals to get some live duels of it very soon because it's a really funny deck to play around with just to see how your opponent reacts to it and then just throw their hands up and go, well, I'm done. I'm tired of getting trap hold. So, anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell and soon become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.